Stephen, your native Down are going to visit Fermanagh this weekend at Brewster Park. What are you expecting from this game? Because Down obviously got promoted up from Division 3. Fermanagh will be going down the other way next year. And obviously there was all that COVID situation with Fermanagh where they sent a weakened team down to Clare. So maybe they don't fully know where they're at. Maybe their preparation hasn't been great. So what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I'll probably start with a few statistics, Shane. Down, which is probably unheard of, were the lowest scoring team in Division 3 last year. Fermanagh were the lowest scoring team in Division 2. And, I think it's only London, Waterford and Carlow have actually scored less than both sides in the whole four divisions, which for me, from a Down perspective, is very concerning because we do have serious forwards in the county. We've got really good attacking talent within the county, but I feel at the minute, Shane, we're playing a very, very cautious brand of football, and I mean that with the greatest respect to Paddy. I think we need to be braver. I think we need to play in the front foot a lot more, and I think we need to look at our kick-out strategy. My worry for Down at the weekend is that our kick-outs over the last 2 years haven't really evolved, and we seem to be taking a very cautious approach where we kick the ball into a block of four men and towards the sideline, and it probably cost us promotion last year against Louth, and I just feel that I'd love to see the shackles off a little bit because I think this is a Fermanagh team that's slightly fragile. I don't think they're as well organised. I don't think they've got the same personnel as they had when they got to the Ulster final under Rory Gallagher. I think it's been a difficult year for Ricey, and listen, be under no illusions, he'll still have them well organised, but you're looking at a Laois team, that was minus Donny Kingston and Evan O'Carroll, and they still put 3-13 past them at the last league game. And I'm sort of thinking to myself, look, Down have seriously top calibre footballer, and in my opinion, much better footballers than Laois. So, like, if Down could go at the weekend, be really positive, Shane, play in the front foot and really get after Fermanagh early, hunt their kickouts down, get our own kickouts away really quick. Let's try and build from the back. And I just think, if we could do that, then I can see a victory for Down. But if we take that cautious approach and keep Fermanagh in the game, and it turns into a real attritional affair. Like, if you look at it, like, Fermanagh have probably only averaged about 11 or 12 points throughout the course of their league games. But the worrying thing for me is that Down have done the same.
Yeah, and how would you like to see Down play? Who would you like to see the game plan built around?
Well, obviously, listen, we've got what we have in the team is we've got some phenomenal pace. We've got some great young footballers coming through in the county as well. Obviously, the last day against Louth, some of those players seen a bit of game time. With the likes of Sheila Johnston got a bit of football. Young Shane Annett from Mayo Bridge. These are young lads coming through at 19, 20 years of age, Shane, who've got serious potential and serious talent. But they're coming out of clubs with no fear. These young lads, like Sheila Johnson played a pivotal role for Kilcoo this year. He's the brother of Ryan and Jerome. But Jerome had a great season in club football this year, Shane. Jerome Johnson was probably the best inside forward in Down this year, and Jerome will definitely play. Barry O'Hagan from Hilltown will play. You're probably looking at Donald O'Hare from Burn as well. But you've got the likes of Mooney, Keelan Mooney. If Mooney stays fit, Mooney's got just blistering pace. I just think of the qualifier last year against Mayo and Newry, where a couple of times he burst through the middle, and it's just physically impossible. I've seen him at club level, I've seen him at county level. He possesses that much power and that much pace. It's just sometimes so difficult for just to keep a handle on him. My only concern is that Darren O'Hagan's missing at the weekend. Darren's our leader. He's the heartbeat of Down, and he has been the heartbeat of Down for the last number of years. For me, Darren's one of the best. He's one of the best defenders in Ulster, not just in this county. He is the best defender in the county, but he's had crippling injuries now, and he's had a couple of operations recently. So Darren will miss the championship, unfortunately, and he's a huge loss. Not even so much Shane, from what he can do on the field. He obviously can tag an opposition's best player. He can go in the front foot. Darren can do literally anything that you want him to do, but he displays great leadership, and he's got that tenacity, he's got that hunger, he's got that drive, and even when things are going against you, he'll go in, he'll win a 50-50 ball, he'll win a 40-60 ball, and we'll miss that at the weekend. My other concern and my other fear is probably the middle of the field. I just don't think we've settled now in 2 years on two settled midfielders. Conor Poland, a past pupil of mine, Conor would have won an All-Ireland with St Clement's Kilkeel under myself back in 2007. Conor displayed serious potential at that age, at 16, 17. Played in a Down team that won an Ulster title in 09, under 21 Ulster title. But Conor went to London for 5 or 6 years and sort of came out of the game a little bit, and he's got himself in very, very good physical condition. And you've Johnny Flynn in there as well. But just middle of the field, just be a wee slight concern over the last couple of years. I think it's an area in which we have struggled. So if we can win the middle of the field, win our battle in the middle of the field, get our restarts away really, really quick, and get that ball in early to our forward line, I think will cause Fermanagh serious problems there.
Has there been much of a change in how Fermanagh play between when Rory Gallagher left and now having in Brian McMenamin? Like, have you noticed any very definite change in them?
Well, someone said to me, Shane, Brewster Park plays. We were due to go to Brewster Park 2 weeks ago with the minors, of course, to play Fermanagh as well in the championship. And we have a team. We have a team that has got a good bit of pace, a lot of mobility, and we were sort of told, look, be careful this time of the year. Brewster Park plays very heavy. It's a heavy pitch at this time of the year, and that would probably sort of suit Fermanagh a little bit more because they do have a lot of strength. They have a lot of physicality. And Shane, I don't think Ryan McMenamin is going to go into Fermanagh and try and change an awful lot. I've seen clips of their games. I've seen little bits and pieces of them. They're still well organised. They're still very defensively set up. They're set up to play probably a very, very rigid defensive system, Shane. Deep line defence. They'll crowd their space in their own half. They're not silly. They'll know what Down will bring. They'll know the pace and the energy that some of the Down forwards possess. But I just feel that if Down can get ahead early in the game, it's very difficult for Fermanagh then to come out of that system, Shane. And I think when it's ingrained in you for so long, because even before Rory Gallagher came in, Fermanagh would have played, quite defensively, not as defensively as when Rory was there, but they would have played, reasonably defensively before that. So I think it's still ingrained in them. I think they're still playing that way. They like to keep possession of the ball for long periods of time, which can be frustrating for an opposition, and particularly for a team like Down, who like to play on the front foot, who like to play, what I would call probably at times sporadic football, But I just think, Shane, I would love to see a performance in Down at the weekend where we're kicking 2-14, 2-13, 2-15, or whatever it happens to be, because it's in us, and I think the way the game has evolved now that. And I've said this before, and it's been labelled at me in the past about being defensive and stuff, but I'm evolving too as a coach, and I see things happening in the game, and I think the days of really playing a lot of bodies behind the ball. I spoke the other night. I was doing a little thing for Kieran Daly, and I spoke about it. I says, like, you need at least 3 or 4 left up now, Shane. You need to give the opposition. You need to pose the opposition a threat. And just far too often this year, I've seen Down with 14, 15 behind the ball. Hence why we're one of the lowest scorers in the division. Now, on the flip side of it, we've got the best defensive record in the league. We've only conceded 85 points. But still, I think to progress and win and get to an Ulster final, we're going to need to open up a wee bit.
And do you think Down will come through this game?
I'd be very, very disappointed if we don't. But I think if we can get a good start on Sunday, get a bit of confidence going, I think we'll come through the game, and I think we'll come through with a bit of spur.